guys, and welcome back to another edition of Sharp Solutions, carpet and upholstery cleaning, supply, install and repair. Right then, today we've got VLM cleaning for upholstery and carpets in a nice retirement complex in Derbyshire. It is a first floor property, so we'll just call the lift and go up, and I'll show you around. Okie dokie, good people, here we are then, straight into this hall, and as you can see, we've got some, I would say, mediocre traffic lanes just here. What looks like a spill here, I think a little bit of a flood maybe. Just through the ringing, the soil's collected at the ends, it's light in the middle. It normally says that water's come into that area, and what happens is it rings as it pushes its way out drying. What makes more sense of that is, there you go, that is the bathroom. So we've got this hallway, and then we've got this bedroom carpet here. Again, lighter traffic ways here. This looks like a oil-based stain down there, so obviously that will be treated with some kind of solvent or rubbing alcohol maybe. We'll have a look at that once we've cleaned. I never spot first, I always spot after, because the solutions that I use are that good that 9 times out of 10 that will bring the spots out. Just by the bed we can see we've got some spills by the looks of it, and wear as well. We met the customer this morning and obviously explained that we're here to clean. We can't restore worn pile, and she understood fantastically, and you know, we had a bit of a chat, and apparently it's the mother-in-law's retirement home that she'll be moving into this evening, coming back from Spain. So there's a couple of reasons that I'm choosing to use encapsulation cleaning. Number one, the lady's elderly. I do want these carpets and the upholstery to be totally dry, preferably by time I leave. That will be good, and it's a first floor flat, so it makes perfect sense in these situations to obviously use other methods of cleaning, and I absolutely love VLM cleaning, very low moisture, and dry cleaning. It all depends on the soiling level, and here it's quite bad. As you can see in front of the sofa, you know, that's quite bad. We've got these stains down here, which are going to be probably tea or coffee again. This sofa was pushed back against the wall. You've only just got to look into it a little bit. Someone probably came up, there might have been a little table at the side there, and the tea or the coffee's gone. It doesn't look like it's been touched, which is fantastic, so that should come out without agitation. Like I say, these are synthetic carpets. In this doorway leading into the kitchen, it's quite heavily soiled there. So I'm going to be inquisitive to see how that turns out. Obviously we won't be leaving any soiling behind, everything's going to be spick and span. It's quite a large lounge for a retirement flat, to be fair. We've got these 2 dining chairs that need a clean as well. So the vacs in, first of all we're going to vac through all the carpeted areas, and then we're going to deep vac the upholstery as well, before we obviously start to put on the encapsulation fluid and let that work in. What we'll be using today is a British manufacturer, the supplier should I say, Solution World of Clean. This is Hydro 202, which is an encapsulation. Hydrogen peroxide, some surfactant, polymers, things like that are in there. It's a fantastic product. All the kit's in, it's ready to go. So we're going to start by vacuuming up these carpets, and then like I said, we'll be vacuuming the upholstery, and then we'll start laying down the pre-spray. So stick with us, guys. Right then, that's all pre-vaxed, so we're going to get started on this upholstery. You can see just down here, if I get the angle right, if you look at that and I keep that still for a moment, you should be able to see where's brighter and where's slightly kind of browner, dingier. So you've got these two that are quite bright, looks like they've not been sat on an awful lot, and then you've got this one here that's obviously showing browning. So that is soiling, so we need to get this as clean as possible, especially that on there, and then just down that side there, and then that headrest there. Obviously it will be pre-sprayed from front to back, so it's a end cap, and as you know, it doesn't really need any agitation time. In fact, it's good to go straight away. But we will be agitating it in to obviously lift that soil, and then we'll be putting the dual polisher with an extraction pad on there to bring that out, and I'll be going through that with you as well. Okay, so this is a one litre bottle. It was full to the top, 1 litre. It's just took a little less than 1 litre, 75.75, yeah. to do the 3-seater and the chair. So now let's start some agitation. Just a light one with a horsehair groom brush like this. Why do we use a soft brush like this for upholstery? 2 reasons. Another shout out for this, it didn't come too long ago, to be fair. I used to use another soft brush, but a synthetic one. And then a good friend of mine, Eddie, from Mr. Bit Cleaning in Coventry, Warwickshire area, absolute professional. He got me onto this brush and it is a real game changer. So again, it's super soft, ideal for agitating upholstery, and you can see the difference that's making straight away, breaking up that soil. What's going to happen obviously with the encapsulation, for those that don't know, so I'm really talking to any newbies getting into the industry here, is it's going to start crystallizing as it starts to dry, but we're not going to let it get to that level until we've extracted through a wool/synthetic pad, which I'll show you in a moment. So here's the pads that we'll be using. This one is a wool synthetic mix, and this is what I'll drop into the solution. Now these have been washed, they are clean, they've just been used. And what happens to any bonnets, anyone who's just getting into the low moisture cleaning, unfortunately the fibres do tinge. It doesn't mean that they're dirty. If they've been washed and boiled and everything else, they are absolutely clean. So we take the scrub pad and we dip that in the solution, just sink it. It's got a sponge on the back so it collects all of that solution, and as you know I'm using an end cap here. I then just rinse it out, not fully, not massively, just so it's got no dripping to hold kind of thing. So around that, we'll then put it on the furniture and grab the dual polisher. Sits straight on the top like that. We turn it on and give it a deep clean. So one dip of the pad will last for one whole section of this sofa. So as you can see, it's a sectional sofa. It comes in 3 parts. So we're going to go over this area a few times. Lovely, absolutely lovely. I like to get down the sides as well, just like we would with HWE. So run the machine down the side, up onto the arm. What's happening here is the dual polisher is bouncing the soil in. Obviously, as it starts to dry, as I mentioned before, it's going to crystallise. But until that starts to happen, we need to get as much of the dry soil in and wet out there. So it's been pre-sprayed, the fabric has, but very lightly. Then the extraction bonnet has been dipped in the solution, so adding a little bit more moisture. It's a fine balance. We've got to make sure that we've got enough moisture in the fabric and enough moisture in the bonnet so that you're lifting soil in. Otherwise, you're not going to be doing that. And a lot of people, from what I've gathered, have gave up on low moisture because of these reasons. Because unfortunately, it isn't like HWE where you literally turn your machine on and away you go, pumping and extracting. It's a little bit more skilled, but delivers fantastic results and fantastic dry time. I do a lot of upholstery behind, we always get exceptional results, and my customers always say how happy they are with the clean, and that's the main thing. The customers' response and reviews don't lie. And about 2 years ago, I did a little bit of a survey, and I asked my customers what they preferred when it comes to cleaning. Now obviously the first thing right at the top of the list there was clean carpet, clean upholstery, or clean whatever it is you're cleaning, soft furnishing wise. The second thing was, believe it or not, dry furnishing, so dry carpet, dry upholstery. They wanted it dry as quick as possible. And the third thing was warm. Yeah, so obviously customers have picked up on the fact that with a sealer door or without a sealer door, that, you know, you're letting the warmth out the home and you're letting the cold in. For those in hot countries, you can then turn to, you know, pets. You've got to watch them pets. You've then got to turn to pedestrians. You've obviously got to make sure that it's set up correctly. You're outside, anyone could trip over your hoses, have a serious accident and you get sued. So you've got to make sure that you've obviously got your insurance in place. When it comes to low moisture, not only do you get great results, you also eliminate all of that worry. You know, you haven't constantly got to be looking out the window to make sure that the cook mount's alright or the portable is okay. There's a number of reasons why low moisture has definitely got a high place in commercial and domestic settings. Now then, I've been agitating this one part for about as long as it would probably take you to run over it correctly with your hand tool using HWE. I've made sure that every nook and cranny has been successfully cleaned, so we're going to move on now. We're going to move on now to the second part. So I'm just standing back. You can see the areas that are darker because it's wetter. As that starts to dry in a moment, you're going to see big changes. Now, although it's nowhere near as wet as HWE would get it, we still need to use the dry bonnet, which is from Challenger. Shout out to Corey from Texas, from Carpet Muscle TV. He got me onto these pads and I put an order in and had them directly shipped from Challenger themselves out in Texas. Great price, a minimum order, I think it was around £150. And for that, I got a good handful of 13-inch for my Auric. I got a good handful of 6-inch for obviously the handheld machine. So yeah, they are cotton polyester triple ply. So very exorbitant, very good bonnets to be fair. I'm very impressed with them, and I will be putting in for some 20-inch pads for the new orbital that I got. So that will be put in soon. Switch her on, and now all we're going to do is go over every area again with the dry pad, extracting at the same time, but also drying. So it's doing 2 in 1. We don't need to get any dry pods or drying equipment out after this. Literally, within a short couple of hours, this sofa will be dry and ready to use. These are massive selling points for any business. Alright, with the carpet, this area here with the tea or coffee that's been spilled, I am going to hit with hydrogen peroxide first of all, just to see if it starts breaking it up. So, like I say, these are synthetic carpets. Solution dyed actually, so you should start to see it lightening almost straight away. And what I'll do is I'll let that sit in there before getting an agitation pad for when I come and do the carpet. So a good squirt all in there to let that sit for a while. Hydrogen peroxide works fantastic on urine as well. I am a keen believer that urine jobs should be subsurface cleaned and pad replaced, because underlay these days made out of PU, it's totally different to what underlay used to be made out of. You know, a lot of the time it was kind of crumb underlay, and water found it very difficult to sink into those kind of underlays. Normally they would kind of watermark the top, but they wouldn't actually get into the product. When it's 100% rubber as well, like the waffle back underlays that used to be heavily used on the market, them again, they used to sit on the top, so the paper line on the top would probably be stained, but the chances of it getting right underneath the underlay were slimmer than they are today. Now it's made out of recycled rubbers and plastics. It's breathable, there's air pockets throughout it, it's very easy for the moisture to get straight down into that. So I like to change the underlay, so I'd strip back the carpet. Obviously this doesn't stop any cleaner or any cleaning company from doing exactly the same thing. It just means that if you don't fit carpets like I do, you'd probably have to get yourself a flooring contractor on your team. Not full time, but where you could obviously call and ask, you know, could you come and refit this carpet for me, because you're going to take it up. Now, again, underlay, it doesn't take a long time to learn how to put underlay down correctly and cut up flush. You just need to make sure that it's obviously well supported and things. But I like to change the pad. I like to deep clean the subfloor, whether it's wood or concrete, with a disinfectant or antimicrobial. Then I dry that out, I put the underlay down, I clean both sides of the carpet and I put it back down. That's when it comes to urine. But if you was surface cleaning a urine contamination problem, hydrogen peroxide is your friend, and just a squirt on there will literally bleach out the stain. The reason it doesn't bleach synthetic carpets when they're solution dyed is because the fibers, they are coated, the colour is locked inside. So what's happening now to this is the actual product, the hydrogen peroxide, is sliding down the fibers. Now yes, that can get to the back, so you've got to be careful. It's not a solvent, so it's not going to delaminate, but we don't want it to get to the back. So that's enough of that for now, and then we're going to run over that with an agitation pad, and then we're obviously going to use an extraction pad. Right then guys, the whole carpets have been agitated and pre-scrubbed. So as you can see, your watermarking, it's been treated, it's been pre-scrubbed. In the doorway there where we had the filtration marks, totally gone. The bedroom, pre-scrubbed. The little spot we had down there, totally gone. It's looking amazing already, but obviously we've got to run over it again with an Iron Man pad, a dry Iron Man pad. This is the lounge. Again, absolutely brilliant. When I say come up, it's not finished, obviously. It's only It's only pre-scrubbed. So what we used to pre-scrub was a zebra agitation pad. Now that we dumped in the encapsulation, okay? Now this Ironman pad is absolutely dry, and that's what we're going to go over with. We're going to go over with a dry pad now, and that's to help obviously speed dry these carpets. Then we're going to post groom, vac first, sorry, then we're going to post groom, and it's out. Here we go then, just in the lift, 2 buckets with most of the stuff that I brought in. All I've got to bring out now is the rotary and the vac. So after that dry extraction, this is one of the Ironman pads. I've used 2, this is the first one, and the second one ain't worth showing you, it's over there, it's not got much soil in it at all. And there we go, just goes to show you. And that's it, good people, we're all done. So starting back, it's all been groomed. You can see the difference in that doorway compared to what it was. That stain there, totally gone. Sofa's looking great, all shining as it should be. The hallway, all the puddling, it's all gone. Stain's fully gone. And the truth is, these carpets are dry.